TCI was down. So do you remember the people that you were working with? If you could get up and get with those people. So remember, we examined gun control, and today we're doing tobacco advertising.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't here.
Okay. It seems that everyone is in their groups, so what I want to do first is I want to go over the first case that we had. So if you recall, we did a case that, this is not on. We did a case that dealt with gun control around schools. So remember, the national government wanted to pass that Gun-Free School Zone Act that would require all schools to have gun-free zones within a certain distance of their schools. States thought that that was violating their powers and that they should be able to control whether or not guns are in, whether or not guns can be permitted in certain areas of their schools, and that was what the case was about. Does anyone remember what the outcome was? Yeah, exactly. The states won, and it turned out that they said that the national government did not have the power because it didn't have an economic component to it. They tried to make that argument that insurance rates would go up, and they said, no, it doesn't really have any sort of economic component that would make it fall under the Commerce Clause of the Constitution. So because establishing schools and policing your states are reserved powers for the states, we're going to leave this power to decide if your schools are going to have gun-free zones, and we're going to give it to the state. So that was a 5-4 decision. So that's what we did on Monday. Now we are examining a different case that deals with tobacco advertising laws. And I don't want to give away too much, but it talks about a certain state ended up suing a major tobacco company, claiming that the tobacco company owed the state billions of dollars in health care costs. They're like, a lot of people in our state are, suffering from, lung cancer and emphysema, and it's costing us $7 billion, and we're suing you to take care of these costs. So that lawsuit prompted this interrogation of kind of what happens with advertising of tobacco products in states, and whether or not the national government has the right to decide that, or whether or not states can decide for themselves. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this image, and I just want you guys to talk about just what you think is interesting about it. I'm going to pull it up. Whoa. Okay. Here's the image. Yeah, so this is an advertisement for Camel cigarettes. So don't just look at the pictures. Also try to look at some of the text bubbles. Okay. Okay, so can you tell me can someone tell me what's interesting about this? Yeah. What did you say? Yeah. So you could argue, is it maybe advertising towards men? This is? Okay. What other comments about this advertisement? There's so many things that you could talk about. Yeah? Yeah, but I think he's supposed to be like the cool, leader character. What about this? So it says free offer on back. So not only is this a brochure, but it's also a coupon giving people a free pack of cigarettes if they get this advertisement. So that's interesting. Any other observations about this? It's pretty, yeah?
About the white box at the bottom, is that a warning?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's that. Let me see if I can read it on my, yeah, it just says, cigarette smoke causes, it looks like health hazards. Like, so this isn't extremely explicit, but it says some sort of a warning. Yeah, but so this is foolproof dating advice. Like, this is just, it's very marketed very heavily towards like, if you smoke these Camels, you're gonna get a girlfriend and you're gonna be so cool, and like, you don't need dating advice because like, if you smoke, then that's the dating advice. Girls will just flock to you if you smoke these Camel cigarettes. So, that, I don't know if they try to have a diverse representation of people. They kind of look very muddled. Oh, it kind of looks like that. No, I think that's something else. I wish the quality of these pictures were clearer. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, so that's just to give you an introduction into what you're really going to be examining. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand out the handout. So remember, you're going to talk about all three questions, and I'm going to pull up that chart that deals with our expressed, concurrent, and reserved powers, and you'll use those to answer the questions. But you're only going to be presenting number 3, which is, do you think Massachusetts has the power to regulate tobacco advertising within its borders?